The Chandler-Gilbert women's basketball team is coming off its best performance of the year, putting up a season-high 77 points in the win over the Park University Gilbert JV squad. Tonight they jump back in a league going for their first conference win, taking on Glendale. It's the Coyotes and Gauchos tipping off our doubleheader live from the Coyote Center on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno alongside Matt McCurdy. Coming into tonight's league game, the 3-6 Coyotes with plenty of confidence after dismantling the Buccaneers. Atlanta West with a team-high 17. Savannah Horton with 15 to lead the team. And tonight the squad takes on a Gauchos team that's lost 4 straight, led by 14-point scorer Kayla Cervantes. Her sister Steffi Cervantes putting up 9, and Stasia Duque adding 9 as well. The Gauchos averaging 56 points a game. 2-8 Glendale coming off 2 league losses to Mesa 57-44 and Pima 67-47. And the loss to the Aztecs, Maya Cobb with 13, Stasia Duque with 11. Glendale was dominated on the glass 64-20. They shot only 28%, 19% from 3. Glendale averages 56 points, shooting 34%, 24% from 3, 60% from the line with 33 rebounds, 10 assists per game. We're going to take a short moment for the national anthem. So the Coyotes, as we close in against the matchup against the Gauchos, they're averaging 51 points and by far took steps in the right direction against the Buccaneers. Michaela Horsley leading the Coyotes with 7 points a game. Smout, Ortiz, Daniel averaging 5 apiece. Glendale averages 56 points, shooting 34%, 24% from 3, 60% from the line with 33 rebounds, 10 assists per game. Cervantes, the league's 8th leading scorer at 14 points. Cervantes also pulling down 7 rebounds per game. Also watch out for Delilah Madden, ranked 4th in the league in three-point shooting at 41%. Last year, Coyotes won all 3 matchups against Glendale. It's the first of 3 meetings. Next Wednesday, actually their next matchup is next Wednesday on January 29th in Glendale and Saturday, February 22nd at the Coyote Center. Coyotes led by head coach Matt Strickland. After coming over from University of Louisiana, great success in 4 years there. 80 wins, 30 losses, with 3 NAIA national tournament appearances. 100% graduation rate as well. Assistants Leon Sutton and John Bundy. Glendale is led by second-year coach Ernie Shand. And right now the starting lineups are being listed right now for Chandler-Gilbert. It's going to be number 2, Melanie Ortiz, number 20, Michaela Horsley, number 21, Sarah Smout, number 30, Salaya Daniel, and number 33, Chloe Olberg. On the other side for Glendale, number 1, Kayla Cervantes, number 3, Steffi Cervantes, number 5, Delia Madden, number 11, Stasia Duque, and number 22, Maya Cobb. And our assistants for tonight's matchup are London Gailey, Tina Reed, and Chance Turner. And we are about to tip this one off. And Matt McCurdy is about to jump in and join me after doing the duties on the play-by-play call. Good matchup, two teams in needing of a league win. Of course, Glendale, 1-2 in league, 2-8 overall. Chandler-Gilbert, 3-6, 0-3 in league. Olberg will jump it. And we are off and we are running. Olberg, as the ball spins around the court, she'll pick it up, and Matt McCurdy joins me now. And Matt, this Chandler-Gilbert team coming off their best offensive performance, 77 points in the win over Park University Gilbert, and talk about smooth, fluid. They showed it all that night.
Yeah, they did an awesome job, and look, they played Park University almost back-to-back, just a few weeks apart, and we were told that team, Park University, brought some of their varsity squad, but yet the Coyotes performed even better than the first game.
Delia Madden with the steal for Glendale, and then it's Daniel going the other way. Daniel up and in, and she continues her hot play. She had 11 points in the contest the other night, was everywhere defensively, driving to the rack and playing outstanding defense. And this team is really starting to show a different level of basketball, and that's exciting. And talking to Leon Sutton, he talked about the performance the other night, and he said, this is what we're capable of doing. And it should not have come to a shock to them whatsoever, because we know they have this ability. And finally, they put it all together as the ball trickles out of bounds, and it was nice to see them have that kind of performance, and now they look to capitalize and see if they can build on that with the outing tonight against Glendale.
No doubt, and you and I talked about last match about that kind of that turning point where we've seen it be building, but then the fruits of their labors coming to fruition. And I think Ori, they're off to a great start. Sly Daniel in that kind of small forward center position has been an absolute beast offensively and defensively.
So in transition, Glendale and Smout on possession. And possession will go to Glendale, but good active hands by the Chandler-Gilbert defense early. 2-0 lead on the Daniel fast break turnover basket. Down in the box. Shot won't go by Maya Cobb. It's going back the other way. Ortiz lost the handle, and Cobb cannot keep it in play, so shot clock will be put back at 25 as the referees look at the scorer's table and get that all line. Smout off the inbounds, surveying it and works it out to Ortiz. And Ortiz, it's tipped, so there's no backcourt violation. Plenty of time for the Coyotes to get in their half-court offense. Smout picked up by Steffi Cervantes, who's been Arizona Community College Athletic Conference Player of the Week for a couple times this season. Off to a really good start. Ortiz stops, and that was partially tipped. Going up strong, Olberg knocks it in.
And you gotta love to see that from Chloe Olberg. I mean, even from Park University, came out a little slow offensively in that first quarter, but tonight, just dominant, find her position, moving her down low post man out of the way, and going up strong.
And it's nice to see the post being active so early. Daniel with the steal, Olberg with the putback. Cobb, Smout right in her mug. 8 on the shot clock. Shot is fired up off the back of the iron, and Chandler-Gilbert will go back offensively. And, of course, Glendale, led by their second-year coach in Ernie Shan. Last year, he only had 6 players, building this team, and is liking the performance of this year's team. They played Mesa hard. They played Pima close. They've been battling. So this is a team just like Chandler-Gilbert. They're building, and for Glendale, they're learning how to play, learning how to win, and that's active hands by Cervantes. The turnover worked in the corner to Steffi Cervantes. Of course, they are sisters. Madden tries to go inside. The tip by Daniel. Smout in transition. 3-on-2 for Chandler-Gilbert. Smout will shoot a pair. Aggressive move as she draws the foul on Steffi Cervantes.
And already, I think this is kind of going to be the play out of tonight's game. Really intense. Both teams pretty evenly matched up. And it's going to go all the way into the fourth, where it's going to be a tight game through and through.
They call the foul on Madden as Smelt at the line. Sarah, a 72% free throw shooter. So you got to love how the Coyotes have come out already. They've been active offensively, defensively. They've hit their free throws. They've been good in transition. A great start by this team. Ortiz, active hands yet again. And it's possession. That aggressiveness, that hunger, that determination, that will to win is starting to show early, and the Coyotes off to a fast start.
And the one thing that's really cool to see as well, we see night after night great defense from the Coyotes, getting their feet in place, locking up the offensive person in front of them. But tonight and the past few nights, the active hands have been just great, and that's what makes these small differences offensively when they get that steal and can kick it down court.
So Horsley works it over to Smelt with 15 on the shot clock. She is being tracked down by Cervantes. Ortiz over to Daniel, top of the key. Steffi Cervantes right in her face. Smelt lets it fly off the back of the iron. Pulled down by Olberg. Olberg going up and in. How about Kloa? The big body and the Coyotes. 8 first period points. Olberg leading the charge with 4 quick ones.
What a great performance from all these girls. I mean, they've come out here, they've played hard, and it feels like no slippage from that Park University match on Monday to tonight. And we talked about that. If they can come in here with that same mentality, that hunger, that drive, and apply it to tonight, this should be a game that they can compete in, and not only compete in, but win.
And Matt, we've talked about it so many times. The posts have a little touch off the glass, and we're seeing Olberg, we're seeing Daniel getting a little softer around the glass and using the glass as their friend, and they have produced so far. Between them, 6 first period points. The Coyotes off to an 8-0 start on home court, off to a tremendous start after really playing their best offensive game of the year in the win over Park the other night. So now it's Glendale looking for a basket. A team that comes in after a couple tough losses, and of course, there's contact down in the blocks, and they call the offensive against Kayla Cervantes, and that is her first. So everything going right now. Coyotes with the active hands and really moving well. And it's Glendale trying to work the trap out of the backcourt, and that time, Chandler-Gilbert turns it over. And that is part of the game that is still a little bit of a work in progress. When they see the trap, it's like automatically freezing instead of getting that first pass out to the outlet. Shot is up from the outside, and that is off the mark. Battling underneath, that is good hustle by Glendale. Horsley outworked down in the blocks. Cervantes pulls it back out. Ortiz, good man-to-man defense. Worked to Kayla Cervantes. 8 on the shot clock, and Kayla Cervantes draws the foul, and that's going to go against Daniel, and that's going to be her first.
And that was just one of those tough possessions where Sly Daniels kind of playing that in between, trying to get her hands for the steal, came up and got beat by the man. I think she was trying to go straight up so he didn't get the call, but got the body nonetheless.
60% free throw shooter as Cervantes will shoot a pair. And she knocks down her first. So glad you can join us on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. Matt McCurdy, Joe Pequeno on the call. Doubleheader night, of course, a big one later. You want some offensive firepower? Glendale coming in, putting up 90 points a game on the men's side. Of course, Chandler-Gilbert, one of the best defensive teams in all of the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference, and that is going to be one tremendous matchup. But first, it's all about the ladies. 2 teams that are trying to build their programs and battling and looking for a conference win. 10 on the shot clock. Smelt working off the screen from Daniel. Gets double teamed. Daniel will let it go from the outside. Daniel long. Olberg is there. Up and Olberg is in. Chloe Olberg positioning and going up strong. It's a 10-2 Coyotes lead. On the other end, Glendale in transition. Going up strong. Stasia Duque, and Duque will shoot a pair. And the foul will go against Olberg, and that's her first.
And what great execution by the Coyotes offensively, bringing it down. They saw that the press was coming from Glendale. They made great decisive passes that sometimes we haven't seen that in their game. But then recognizing the trap that was coming on Sarah Smelt, Daniels popping out for that 3, obviously made the miss, but Olberg there to put it back in.
Elena West checking in, as well as Hannah Williams. West, game high, 17 points in the win over Park. And that one is knocked down beautifully by Stasia Duque. Duque putting up 9 points a game. 56% free throw shooter, and good work at the line right there for her. Coyotes beat the press. West swings it over to Ortiz. They try to dump it down to Hannah Williams. And right now it's the Gauchos picking up their intensity defensively. And they're doing a really nice job rotating and putting pressure on the ball handler. We'll see how the Coyotes handle that. Williams outworks Duque for a split second, but then she throws it away. Transition for the Gauchos. Down in the box. They work it. Going up strong and off the iron. No go by Kayla Cervantes. West gets it over to Horsley. Over to Ortiz. 20 on the shot clock. And Horsley is blocked by Steffi Cervantes. And now it's Glendale bringing some energy and effort. And you can feel it coming off their bench. They know they have played Mesa, they've played Pima hard, they've played Cochise hard, and they feel they're close. It's about learning how to win and getting some extra depth from their bench. And Hannah Williams and Elena West on a miscommunication. Smout to check back in as Elena West checks out. And that's a bad pass right there, but you know, along the way, there's got to be effort to go try to get the basketball as well. Other side, driving in and good. Stasia Duque. Now a 10-6 ball game.
And we've seen this a few times, Joe, where this full court press starts to wear down on the Coyotes, and then the small mistakes start to happen. That bad pass right the play before, things like that just really start to wear down on the overall game.
Williams could not hit the open jumper, and then on the other end, the floater. Delia Madden, and one. Will go to the line to shoot an opportunity at the three-point play.
I'll tell you, Joe, there's just nothing you can do about one of those plays. I mean, she went in strong, threw it up, and even with the full defense foul, makes the point.
And Madden misses, but Glendale working hard underneath, and then Ortiz. And there's a travel call underneath on Kayla Cervantes. So Chandler-Gilbert and Williams will check out. Daniel gets right back in. And Chandler-Gilbert with some issues in the backcourt. They work it up and they get it past the timeline. Horsley, 19 on the shot clock. Smout being tracked down by Madden. Worked over to Ortiz. Glendale coming out on the perimeter.
Great look.
Inside. And how about Brianna Martin getting better and better and better in the post every time we see her.
And that's exactly what we want to see from Brianna Martin, right? That nice, tall, over-the-top pass, her going up strong, bodying the post, and putting it into the hoop.
Duque over to Cervantes. Cervantes down low. Basket is in on the great dish to Steffi, her sister. The sister-sister combination coming up, and it's a 12-10 ball game. Glendale on a 10-4 run. Great pressure right now by Glendale. Double teaming the ball handler every single time. Smout gets it over to Ortiz. Ortiz to Daniel. Daniel in the lane. Daniel off the side of the iron. Ernie Shan telling his young ladies to pick it up in transition. Cervantes with Ortiz on her, getting in the lane, the flip out. Shot is up, and that is off the mark. Daniel underneath, picks up the loose change. Horsley, and the Coyotes will walk it up. A good defensive sequence, and now the Coyotes in search of a basket. Ortiz in the lane, works out to Horsley. Horsley in the lane. Daniel on the left perimeter, up top to Ortiz. Ortiz thought about it. Horsley being tracked down, works it to Smout. Smout Tries to get inside to Martin. Taken away. Good active hands by Duque. Now it's Glendale in transition.
Good block.
And that won't go, but the good hustle by Glendale down the court, and Cervantes will go to the line as Daniel picks up her second foul. And checking in for the Coyotes, Olberg back in the lineup, as well as Juliet Botiller.
I'll tell you, Joe, I love the aggressiveness from Slide Daniels. She's providing so much leadership on the court, offensively and defensively. She'll have to be careful on the fouls, though, because she can't afford them. She provides such great dominance, getting the ball down the court, and then keeping the spacing offensively so well put offensively for the Coyotes.
Cervantes living large at the line. Opportunity to knot this one up at 12, and she does just that and gets the roll. Savannah Horton checking in. She was great the other night, had 15 points. Ortiz checking out. Melanie yet to fill in the box score in this one. Right now it's Horton, Smount, Botiller, Olberg, and Williams on the floor. Horton working it up as the Coyotes beat the press. Williams driving. Williams up and strong. Hannah Williams with one of her best moves in a Coyotes uniform, going strong to the rack in transition and made it look easy. You can tell her game's evolving under coach Matthew Strickland, I should say. Shot off the glass won't go. Olberg pulls it down. 37 seconds left in the first half. Horton. Hannah Williams, top of the key. Williams swings it over to Horton. Horton gets it back to Horsley. Guarded by Steffi Cervantes. 5 seconds. And a carry call goes against Chandler-Gilbert. So now it's Glendale that trailed early 8-0 with an opportunity to tie this one. They'll take the final shot here in the first period.
And you can tell the Coyotes are just struggling to find an opening in the Glendale Gachos defense. I mean, they've done a great job transitionally, making sure they cover their openings. Just tremendous work.
Scoop, and that is just short, but a tremendous effort by Maya Cobb. And after one, it's 14-12. Coyotes, and Matt, the Coyotes started fast, getting some good baskets, a great first period. Chloe Olberg, 6 first period points.
Yeah, she's played great. She's played strong. And look, this is a team where prior to Monday, on and off, hot and cold, some good periods, some bad periods. Now, feels consistent, feels smooth across the board. And I think Coach Strickland, his rotation, switching girls in and out, has been spot on. To the Gachos' credit, they've done a great job adapting. You've seen them start off kind of cautious. Coyotes made them pay. They switched then into a full court press. They're still trying to work that one in. But you saw them try to trap. Offensively, Coyotes made that work on a point, and they've gone back to really protecting the key and locking out the Coyotes.
Kayla Cervantes with 4 points. Steffi Cervantes with a bucket. Dahlia Madden with a bucket. Stasia Duque with 3 points. 14-12. Very entertaining first period. Coyotes started so hot, then a lot of their troubles came as soon as Glendale started trapping on the inbounds, and then all of a sudden turnovers happened. The Coyotes lost their poise, and that took them out of a good offensive rhythm.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, that press is very effective. The Coyotes are doing a good job reading the court, getting it past, but it chews up the clock for sure.
So second period underway. Glendale, of course, going left to right on your screen. Steffi Cervantes. And you got a travel call going against Glendale. Maya Cobb made a move before putting the ball on the deck. So Coyotes will take the turnover, go back on offense for their first possession here in the second period. And already working the ball a little better out of the inbounds. The big thing is that, and another struggle off the inbounds. And right now the Coyotes have just got to work the ball up the middle floor, dribble the ball a little bit, put some pressure on Glendale to try to work the ball carrier, to work the ball handler, that is.
No, exactly. I mean, the Gauchos are kind of laid back, hanging off on that press. They're not attacking right away. So the Coyotes, not just the person with the ball, they've got to shove off that player and get open and really make that early contact.
4 seconds. Williams has got to launch it. And Williams off the front of the iron. A tough offensive possession for the Coyotes. Never were in sync off the troubles off the inbounds. Steffi Cervantes. They dump it down in the post. Figueroa, number 33 in the game, providing some size. From Raymond Kellos High School in the west side. Elena West checking in. And Brianna Martin also going back in. Smout taking a breather, as well as Olberg. Brianna Martin providing some height in the post, and West some potential scoring punch. Cervantes, West. They work it out on the perimeter. The drive inside. Shot won't go. Good defense by the Coyotes. As Duque, not a lot of breathing room in the post. West works it over to Horton. Horton. Maya Cobb on her. Williams shoots it over. Bo Tiller's shot is up. That is long from 3. Coyotes decked out in their home gray and teal tonight. Of course, Glendale and the road red and black. 14-12 ball game. Both these teams have played the competition in league very tough. Chandler-Gilbert looking for its first conference win. Glendale 1-2 coming in. Back-to-back losses to Pima and Mesa. Elena West being picked up by Maya Cobb. Brianna Martin setting the high screen. West down the lane, and West banks it in. Big basket for the Coyotes, and went just a tad without a field goal. And Kayla Cervantes is about to check back in. And Ortiz on the other side for Chandler-Gilbert. Steffi Cervantes, younger sister, running the point. In the lane, dishing it back out. The double team coming so quickly for Chandler-Gilbert. Elbow jumper won't go. Horton rips it down. Bo Tiller will get the Coyotes into their half-court offense and works it over to Elena West, who's going to run the point. Brianna Martin setting the high screen. West gets double team immediately. Great rotation by the Gauchos. Horton in the corner. The fake. Elbow. A little long. Pulled down by Maya Cobb. Cobb, middle of the floor. Surveying, slicing, dicing. And they're going to call the blocking foul before the basket. Foul will go against Juliet Bo Tiller, her first. But you can see the speed and athleticism of Maya Cobb getting to the rack.
No, Maya Cobb's one of those players. She can attack. She can go very quickly. And she knows how to draw the foul, which makes her a lethal threat offensively.
They get out to Kayla Cervantes back in the game. Worked in the post, now pulled out to Delia Madden. Worked over to Steffi Cervantes. 10 on the shot clock. West on Steffi Cervantes. Double team on the big. Figueroa. Ortiz comes up with it. Got away with a possible travel call. West, opportunity. West to pull it out. Martin, point blank, and Brianna Martin delivers. And Big B starting to perform like a big positive force down in the post for Chandler-Gilbert.
And I love to see that composure from Elena West. I mean, she could have shot it. She had the wide open lane. She pulled back, made the good look. And in the shuffle of the defense, Brianna Martin wide open.
Great drive by Cobb. Could not finish. Ortiz swings it out. West, elbow jumper. West, in and out. Good look, just cannot connect. And coming up methodically at the right side is Delia Madden, a freshman from Cesar Chavez High School, a former champion. Blocked by Horton, but they're going to call the foul on Savannah. Savannah looking back like, I've got all rubber there, and won't get the call. Williams checking in. Also checking back in, Stasia Duque. Figueroa checking out. Figueroa, bigger body, providing some post presence down in the paint. First shot is up by Madden. Madden at the line. .42% free throw shooter. Now 18-14. Looked like what was a potential Coyotes runaway early. Glendale got their defense going. The trap really kind of stifled for the Coyotes, and now both teams are kind of gridlocked, picking up their defenses. West getting doubled. And I got to tell you, now we watch a lot of games, and Stassi Duque got called for a foul there. I got to tell you, that was like a phantom call because she's just playing good defense, and I don't know if she even made contact with Elena West. That's just hard defense right there. I mean, we've seen tough, like right there, that should have been a foul, right? But the one prior on Elena, not even close. West in the lane, shoots it out to Horton. Savannah driving off the glass, a little too strong. The battle underneath. Williams can't pull it down. Glendale in transition. Steffi Cervantes. Now it's Elena, almost the near steal. Steffi Cervantes will pull it out. Ortiz right in her mug, not making her feel comfortable whatsoever.
Hands.
Ortiz, the tip. Shot in the corner. Shot is up, and that is off the mark. Good look by Duque, just cannot connect on the three. Ortiz with a tough rebound, and West off the top of the perimeter. West working in the lane. Ortiz open from three. Ortiz a little too strong as Williams working hard right into the hands of Kayla Cervantes. Cervantes almost lost her footing. Working it to that right side, and Duque gets called for the travel. And right now, a little bit back and forth, helter-skelter, both teams right now getting in their own way. But, of course, that's because of the pressure being applied by both sides.
Absolutely.
4:40 left in the first half. Entertaining ball game. So glad you can join us from Chandler-Gilbert. Hannah Williams, Horsley in the corner. Horsley, a little too strong. Ripped down by Duque. Steffi Cervantes on that right side. Also in the game, Gloria Hines from Mountain Ridge High School, number 14 for Glendale. High screen set by Kayla Cervantes. Cervantes now on that right side of the wing. Picked up by Ortiz. Good defense as West brought the double team. Steffi Cervantes down in the blocks. 6 seconds. Duque puts it on the floor. Duque driving and in. Great hustling basket by Stasia Duque.
And that's really where we've seen the majority of Glendale's points come through. Just working the offense, waiting for the prime opportunity. Catch Coyotes off guard. Fast breaking. Nice step right to the basket for the drive.
And McKaylin Horsley off the great feed from West. Just beating Glendale back in transition, and that's not going to make Ernie Shan, the head coach of Glendale, happy whatsoever. Can't give up freebies in a tight defensive ball game. You play defense, you get back in transition, you got a shot to win.
Absolutely.
You give up freebies, end of the game, you're wondering what if. Steffi Cervantes, West playing tight defense. Kayla Cervantes trying to battle down low. And Hines gets locked up. Great possession by Chandler-Gilbert defensively. Steffi Cervantes checking out. Back in the game is Delia Madden, originally from San Bernardino, California. High school ball over at Cesar Chavez over in the West Valley. Former champions, and that school always produces great athletes. Doesn't matter the sport. It's like sunshine in Arizona. It's just bound to happen. West off the double team. And the turnover as Cobb works it to Kayla Cervantes, and that's going to be a foul on Elena West, throwing out the forearm, but they actually call it the other way. So Cervantes picks up her second. And I got to tell you, I might have missed the initial forearm push, but I thought Elena gave her, that was more apparent on the back end.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I thought as well. But I guess from that side, maybe she shoved off to try and reach for the ball and get there a little bit faster.
Only 10 points have been scored in this second period between the both teams. Ortiz in the lane. Melney, too strong. Glendale ripping it down, and Ortiz will get called for the foul. So what turned into a smooth, very crisp offensive game early for the Coyotes offensively has turned into a defensive slugfest. Both teams just trying to find their offense, make the most of their opportunities, and limit the turnovers. And we've seen some bad turnovers on both sides.
Absolutely. And truthfully, Joe, the offense has really slowed down since Celia Daniels has been pulled off the court. She's just such a great spot in that small forward center position. She pulls everything out. I wonder if she's maybe being held back right now just because she has a few fouls and she needs Coach Strickland wants her for later in the game.
So Ortiz, good defense on Cervantes. Ortiz driving baseline. Once again, good active hands by Glendale and a battle on the floor between Williams and Cervantes. Possession arrow in favor of the gray and teal. Savannah Horton checking back in. Ortiz checking out. So right now, Coach Matthew Strickland is really just trying to find combinations that'll work offensively. Nothing is set and situated. Of course, he's got his first and second team unit, but whatever buttons have to be pushed to put out a winning combination, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be an offensive foul against Chandler-Gilbert, or an out of bounds on the baseline on the other side. Initially thought it was an offensive. Instead, that was the call. 20-16, both teams laboring here in the second period. Worked in the corner. Maya Cobb driving. Maya Cobb, couple Euro steps, and gets it to drop. Maya Cobb putting up 4 a game, but it's got some speed and got some skill. Horton swings it over to Horsley. 20 on the shot clock. Smout, top of the key, lets it fly. That's off the mark. And Glendale take possession. 20-18. $1:19 left. This one is actually a fast-moving first half. Not a lot of turnovers whatsoever. Both teams just trying to find a good offensive rhythm. Cervantes with Hannah Williams, top of the key. 17 on the shot clock. Worked over. Good defense by Elena West. Active hands on Madden. 10 on the shot clock. You can hear Glendale clouding it down. Cervantes working the post. Cervantes looking for some help. Cutter. She was looking for Cobb and taken away by Horsley. Smout in transition. And this is one of the few last possessions for the Coyotes where they've actually had a clean race up the floor with the basketball. Horton in the lane. West thought about it for a split second. Smout swings it over. Horton deep in the post. Horton a little too strong off the glass. Cervantes in transition. Works over to Madden. Madden gets it back to Cervantes. And Glendale playing for the final shot. And that's almost thrown away as Hines picks it up. 7 seconds left in the first half. Cervantes will take the shot, driving and blocked by Williams. And Glendale will have 1 second left. It'll be a catch and shoot off the inbounds. Cervantes checking out Stasia Duque. And you got to figure Duque, point blank inside look. And that's going to be the number they're calling right here. Madden off the inbounds. Surveying, looking for Duque inside. That's the call, and Duque comes up empty. So after one, a 20-18 halftime lead for Chandler-Gilbert. They started so fast, and Matt, as we look at that second period, basically even as both teams 6-6 in that second period.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just right on par with what we talked about earlier. These two are very evenly matched teams defensively and offensively, and we've seen that. The offense of Glendale has really locked up the Coyotes in their offensive plays, and likewise, the Coyotes, they've maintained the lead the whole game and have kind of forced Glendale to make their only play a quick drive to the basket, and likewise. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, they came out strong in that first quarter. We haven't seen Sly Daniels or Chloe Olberg, their kind of primary down low posts, for most of the second quarter. So we'll see what happens in the next two.
Yeah, the big thing with Olberg, not in foul trouble, so you got to wonder maybe saving her for that really big second half push, as well as Celia Daniel, who showed her worth again, starting fast, and Brianna Martin, look, getting better and better in the post, getting decisive, little banks off the glass for 4 first half points. It's really about hitting some shots, and I think when we saw some of the Coyotes' problems, once again, they got up to the 8 quick points, and then all of a sudden Glendale started trapping off the inbounds, and then the problems started rising for the Coyotes' offense.
Yeah, no doubt. That was definitely something that we saw. I loved how the Gauchos adapted their defense so quickly. Sometimes you see teams where they get caught in one method and they don't switch it up to match the offense coming down the court, but they did a great job listening to Coach Ernst. I can't remember
Coach Ernie Shan.
Ernie Shan, and they executed, and that's what you want to see.
So for Coach Shan, great job by his team after falling behind 8-0. They picked up the defense. They picked up the intensity. They might have came out maybe a step slow, and the Coyotes brought that energy now as we go to the second half. Who can harness their energy? Who can come out and just be a little bit more crisp with the basketball and execute in the half court? And that's what this game's going to be. It's not going to be an up and down track meet. We'll see that in the course of the year with Pima and Mesa. But these two teams, when they hit the floor, they want to grind. They want to work every possession. And for Chandler-Gilbert, that was so smooth in the opening minutes, jumping out to 8-0 lead. They have to get back to what made them successful. And that could be a combination of Olberg and Daniel down in the blocks.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that's the missing piece that we just didn't have in that second quarter. And maybe that's strategic on Coach Strickland's part. We don't know that for sure. But they were bringing a lot of strength defensively. We saw a lot of steals from Daniels, a lot of mayhem from Brianna Martin, putting her hands up, kind of distracting. And look, the Gauchos don't really have a ton of post players. They're mostly guards, and that's where they've gotten the majority of their points. So I think that might be the missing piece we see in the second half.
So we'll take a short time out from the Coyote Center. The first of two. The men are on deck, and that's going to be an exciting affair. Coyotes and the Gauchos. Gauchos just gave Pima a run for their money, losing 86-80 in a wild affair. A game in which Aztecs' Cohen J. Gonzalez knocked down 36.
Wow.
So this Glendale team, they've got a slew of weapons. 4 players averaging double figures, and the Coyotes resembling a mash unit with their lack of bodies because of all the injuries, but they're playing hard and they're in the thick of the conference race. We'll take a short time out. More to come right here from the East Valley. I'll Pecos Road in the 202 on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. And we welcome you back to the Coyote Center. Chandler-Gilbert back on the court, leading 20-18. They jumped out to an 8-0 lead. First 3-4 minutes looked like it was going to be a carryover from their Park University Gilbert win, where they put up a season-high 77 points, and then all of a sudden, Gilbert make that Glendale stepped up their defense, and all of a sudden the Coyotes started feeling the pressure, and then their offensive execution that was so good in the opening minutes, well, it came back to earth, and then they kind of labored through the rest of the first and second period as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely accurate, and we saw a great adapting from the Gauchos defensively to lock up the Coyotes. They saw what they did at the game wasn't working, and they changed on the move, and you got to respect that from a team. Offensively, the Gauchos, I don't think we've seen anything too out of the ordinary. They've had some great drives, but other than that, Coyotes have done a good job locking them up. Now they need to execute offensively and come in with that first quarter energy we saw right at the beginning.
Olberg with 6 points. She was dynamic. Brianna Martin, 4 points. Daniel, West, Horsley, and Williams with buckets. And on the other side, Stasia Duque with 5 points. Kayla Cervantes with 4. 20-18, and right now it's anyone's ball game. Both teams in dire need of a league victory. Of course, Glendale coming in with a record of 1-2. Coyotes still looking for that first league win. They played Scottsdale so tough and just could not execute in the fourth. Now it's kind of got that same kind of feel to that Scottsdale matchup. Can they generate enough offense? Can they be crisp? Can they get the ball in off the inbounds without turning the basketball over? And that was kind of a key moment in that first period. Glendale started pressing off the inbounds. Offense started going south. The execution in the half court started going south as well.
Yeah, no doubt. The Coyotes really can't let the wear and tear of the game start to lead to small mistakes on the court in the later part of the period. But look, I think they have a big advantage as far as their posts go. The Coyotes have great post players. The Gauchos, a lot more guards. So really use that mismatch and play it to your advantage.
No question. Dahlia Madden so fast, as well as Maya Cobb, speedsters, and Glendale will start possession here in the third period. First of 2 on the night. Then it's the Coyotes riddled with injuries, about to take on the explosive Gauchos. And that shot is up by Steffi Cervantes and Daniel. Daniel with 2 first half fouls and came out strong with the opening steal and transition basket to get this one going. Worked over the top of the key. Horsley works it to Ortiz. Good active hands by Madden. Daniel swings it out to Smout. 10 on the shot clock. Daniel down in the post. Gets doubled immediately. Kicks it out to Ortiz. Ortiz back to Daniel. Elbow jumper. And that rolls off the rim. Good defense by the Gauchos. Steffi Cervantes swings it over. Worked out to Stasia Duque. Long range 3 and knocked down by Dahlia Martin. And now it's the Gauchos with a third period lead. Their first lead of the contest. Daniel swings it over to Horsley. Smout thought about it. In the lane. Smout driving. That rolls off the rim. Going up, and Olberg draws the contact. And once again, Chloe Olberg, right place, right time.
Absolutely. She's been huge on rebounds and putbacks tonight. I mean, really a saving grace offensively for the team where some of the shots, some of the layups just haven't been going in. She's right there, puts it right back in.
Duque with their second foul. Olberg at the line. That one rolls in and out. Olberg, a 66% free throw shooter. And misses on both. And that's a critical miss early on in this third period. Duque thought about it. Steffi Cervantes in the lane. Scoop won't go off the side of the iron. Ortiz and Smout in the backcourt, as well as Olberg, Daniel, and Horsley on the wing. They go inside. Olberg, too strong, and the shot was there. Now it's the Gauchos in transition. Worked out to Steffi Cervantes. Ortiz on that left wing. They dump it down. Kayla Cervantes scooping and scoring. Kayla Cervantes with a good move.
And
She's got 6 points, and Glendale goes up 3.
what a crisp move by Kayla Cervantes. I mean, she read that perfectly. Saw the trap coming from the Coyotes, dipped right down and got the pass, wide open lane.
Glendale playing hard, rotating, doubling the ball handler every single time. Smout tried to dump it down in the post to Daniel. Overshot it. Transition. Madden into the lane. Looking for Cervantes. Knocked away by Smout. Chandler-Gilbert putting pressure on. Smout going strong. Misses underneath. And right now, Chandler-Gilbert's getting some good opportunities. Just got to be able to, once again, we talk about poise and touch around the glass, and you got to have that.
Yeah, really, really good movements, but just out of sync, like you're saying. And they've got to lock that down, not get too rushed, play their game. And you can see it on the court when they're out of rhythm.
Smout out, Elena West in. Coach Strickland looking for some scoring punch. And a good drive by Stasia Duque.
And that's where the Coyotes are going to have to be really careful. They've been caught multiple times coming up on the man offensively, and those quick guards from the Gachos, just a little pump fake, fast, quick drive to the basket, and drawing the contact.
Holberg comes out. Anna Williams, who had a bucket in the first half, comes in. Off one of the best drives she had in transition. Fast break and took it straight to the basket. Looked so smooth and confident with the drive. Duque misses on the first. 23-20 Gauchos have stormed out to the second half lead. Now it's the Coyotes looking for a basket as West in the ball game, coming off 17 in the win over Park University Gilbert. West, the floater won't go. Daniel strong, and that one is over the glass. And Coach Strickland's calling a timeout, and honestly, I think that's a great timeout. Right now, he's assessing his team. Offensively, everything seems to be a struggle, and even when they get to the glass, the poise, the confidence, the touch, none of it's there. None of it's carrying over from the opening minutes of the first period or over the win over the Buccaneers the other night.
Yeah, you're spot on. I mean, that is when Coach Strickland should call it, because it's not like they aren't getting to the hoop. It's not like they aren't getting good looks. We've seen 3, 4, 5 of them in this third quarter, but misses nonetheless. And that's when you just can see your players are not getting into the rhythm, not getting in sync, and that all you can do is talk to them as a coach and hopefully walk them back in.
Coach Strickland in his first year, 4 great seasons at NAIA University of Louisiana, 3 playoff appearances. And even the bigger stat, 100% graduation rate. Can't say enough about that. For the young ladies that step on any college or any of these young athletes, doesn't matter the gender, it's all about getting your education first and foremost. Steffi Cervantes, Elena West, playing tight man-to-man defense on the left wing. Cervantes swings it out. Madden gets called for the travel. Make that Maya Cobb getting called for the travel. So the turnover by Glendale. And you can tell Glendale applying the pressure. Nothing easy off the inbounds. And I love that defensive philosophy. Make the Coyotes work and vice versa. Horsley, right side. Williams on the elbow. Williams shoots it out to Elena West. Work to Ortiz. Taken away by the quick, active hands of Madden. Now it's Steffi Cervantes. Gets the Gauchos in their half court. Swings it over. Duque. Williams right in her mug. Duque into the lane. Duque strong to the hoop. Duque. Nice basket. She's got 7, and the lead is 5 for Glendale. Savannah Horton checking in. Melanie Ortiz checking out. And right now, the Coyotes just need one good offensive possession. Be clean and just execute. The shots have been there. Just be a little cleaner and be cleaner off the inbounds.
No doubt, and I think even beyond that too, it's be decisive. We saw in that last play, Melanie Ortiz wide open, and Elena needed to make that quick pass right away, held it, dribbled, and then made the pass. Maya Cobb saw it coming a mile away, made the pick.
Williams being tracked by Maya Cobb. The dump down to Horton in the post. Little floater, won't go. Worked up the floor by Cobb. Swings it over, Steffi Cervantes. Cervantes. And Cervantes. And Celaya Daniels wondering where the foul call was there. And we've seen some calls in this one, you're kind of like wondering contact, and then others you're like, okay, that should have been a foul call.
No doubt.
Needs to say the referees are human and they make mistakes, and sometimes they're on point, sometimes they're not, and sometimes all of us are not on point, and we do the best we can.
And that's a tough call even for a player too, because when you're not maybe hitting on offense and you get called defensively, when you're trying to hustle, get that energy back into your game and the team, and it becomes a foul, that's tough.
Gauchos on a 7-0 run to start the third period. And Steffi Cervantes nails 1 of 2. She's got 3 points. Glendale going back on offense as the Coyotes are laboring on the inbounds. Duque shoots it over to Steffi Cervantes. Horton working the perimeter, tracking her down. Near takeaway. 20 on the shot clock. Cervantes in the lane, and that's got to be an offensive, and they do call that. Good position by Horsley, and Steffi Cervantes couldn't put the brakes on.
And that was a much-needed call for the Coyotes. I mean, you can feel the energy dropping, but a great read by Horsley, too. Too often we've seen when the Gauchos score, they bring everybody out, then the middleman spreads it across, widens, opens the lane, and they'll just drive all day long. Horsley saw it, adapted, stood her ground, and got the call. So a good read for her.
Referees ironing everything out. Horton up the inbounds. Glendale not covering the ball, but covering off the inbounds players on the court. Horton. And the foul will go against Maya Cobb. That's her first. I got to respect what Coach Ernie Shan is doing. He is playing tight man-to-man defense and off the inbounds, and I can see where any team, Mesa or Pima, and Elena West gets called for the travel.
And you know, Joe, this is something we normally see from the Coyotes, really putting the defense on and locking teams down. And I think they've kind of met their match defensively. Gauchos really glued to their hip, locking him down, and really not giving him much to work with.
They work it to Kayla Cervantes in the middle of the floor. Cervantes dribbling, and Cervantes will shoot a pair as Olberg picks up her second foul. And right now, this Gauchos team is just a step faster than Chandler-Gilbert.
You know, Joe, at this point, if I'm the Coyotes, maybe pull the defense in a little bit, protect the inside. That's really where all the points are coming from. Quick drives, quick looks, and really spreading out the Coyote defense and then making a quick move down the middle and taking the lane. So maybe bring the defense in a little bit. Don't spread it so far out. They really haven't hit a lot from the outside. Push them to that three-point line and see what they can do.
Glendale on an 8-0 run to grab a 6-point lead. Celaya Daniel, 3 fouls, in foul trouble. Melanie Ortiz has yet to hit the box score. Cheryl Yazzie still out with a lower body injury. Savannah Horton, so crisp in the win the other night with 15 points. Hasn't hit any shots. Elena West, 17 the other night, only one field goal. Plenty of time left in this one. 26-20. Gauchos, 4:40 left in the third. Duque in the lane. Duque blows by the Coyotes defensively. 28-20. Smout to Horton. Glendale bringing the trap once again. Horton. And they work it over to Smout. One of the better executions by the Coyotes off the inbounds. Horton works it over to Smout. 8 on the shot clock. Smout lost the handle. Martin is going to get tied up on the floor. And a bailout call for the Coyotes on Duque, and that's her third. And if you're Coach Ernie Shan, you're saying, are you kidding me right now? Because Martin's on the floor, there's 2 bodies going at her, and they're going to call the foul on Chandler-Gilbert. Questionable call, but hey, you're a Coyotes fan, you're loving it. Horsley swings it over to Ortiz. Ortiz hasn't got cooking yet. Horton and a body contact, and they're going to call the offensive on Horton, saying she threw out the forearm. 28-20. 3:53 left. Coyotes still looking for their first basket here in the third period. Ortiz, Williams, Smout, Horton, Horsley on the floor. Cervantes, Madden, Cobb, Steffi Cervantes, as well as Figueroa on the floor. They go inside to Kayla Cervantes. And the call goes against Glendale. 3:53 left. Ortiz to Smout. They work it to Williams, and Williams immediately gets it up. And they're going to call a blocking foul, and rightfully so, against Maya Cobb. Cobb tried to play that one off, and now all of a sudden for the Coyotes, as Glendale is now put the Coyotes in the bonus, can they capitalize at the free throw stripe?
And Joe, on that last play, as it was coming down, you saw Hannah Williams get the open lane. You saw the trap on Smout. You see a little bit of a lag offensively from the Coyotes. Really, you should see the opposite side court take a big cut inside so Hannah Williams can make the drop-down pass, get the open lane. But where were the Coyotes? They were hanging back, waiting for the setup. So a little bit of a misread from the Coyotes that led to, obviously, Hannah going to the line off the foul, but could have been a quick pass and maybe a layup.
Williams makes 1 of 2, a 7-point ball game. And Smout gets the turnover. Coyotes, Smout 1-on-3, and Smout scoops and scores. She's got 4 points. The lead is 5. Coyotes now trying to make some noise, get back in this one. Cervantes, tight defense by Horton. Swung out to the top of key. Maya Cobb as Smout goes out. Putting pressure on Maya Cobb. And Cobb draws the contact.
And right there, Joe, Sarah Smout has to be so careful of Maya Cobb on that drive. You saw Maya Cobb way outside the three-point line, waiting, holding the ball, buying her time, looking like she's going to pass, trying to bait Sarah Smout to take the few steps forward, really come in tight, and then she blew right past for the open lane. So that's really something that the Coyotes are going to have to look for.
28-23. As Cobb will shoot a pair. 65% free throw shooter. And so big as free throws, just like they were in the Scottsdale game, could be a big factor in this one. She makes 1 of 2. Horton works it to Ortiz. Horsley, other side of the floor. Horsley down the lane. And they're going to call the foul against Figueroa. The big body down in the post as Horsley tried to cut in the lane and got a piece of Figueroa's right arm. Horsley's been working very hard in the gym. Talking to Leon Sutton, Horsley's always asking to get more shots in, more shots in, more shots in. And you love to hear that. Hits the first. She's got 3 points. Off the mark on the second, but Hannah Williams tracks it down. Hannah's going to get called for the travel. And when that's a situation for Hannah Williams. She's driving 1-on-4, dish the ball out. She wants to be aggressive, go up strong, but also got to recognize what you're going into as well.
Absolutely, that would have been a perfect opportunity, right? You say kick it out, and then maybe take a backdoor cut off the switch up in the on the defense and go up strong.
Chloe Beckman, number 13, in the ball game. That's off the glass, won't go. Mad scramble underneath. So Glendale retains possession after the strong effort by Chloe Beckman. Number 13 was just checked in. A freshman guard from Sandra Day O'Connor. Smout with the steal. 29-24. A lot of basketball left in this one. Coyotes jumped out to an 8-0 lead. It's Glendale. And that is what we've seen a lot tonight. Coyotes not working the passing lanes to perfection. 14 on the shot clock. Smout. Ortiz. Horton going strong, and Ortiz. And Horton right down the lane. On the other end, Figueroa. Too strong. Worked out. Maya Cobb. Now it's Glendale needing a second to breathe. Cobb going in. Blocked by Williams. See, the ball rolls out of bounds against Maya Cobb, so through a very tough stretch of the third period. Now it's Glendale going through their tough stretch. Hannah Williams working it up. Great job. And gets it over to Smout. So the Coyotes break the press. And now they have to be, once again, a little more cleaner with their passing. Ortiz, 12 on the clock. Horsley works out to Savannah. Savannah, the fake, kicks it outside. Ortiz for three, and Ortiz connects her first bucket of the game. And it ties it at 29.
And you gotta love the patience from the Coyotes on that last play. You could hear Coach Strickland yelling to them, next pass, take the next one. And they looked and they found the right mark to get the three.
In the game for Glendale, number 14, Gloria Hines. And they're gonna call the foul against Hannah Williams. And Gloria Hines will shoot a pair. And if they're putting anyone at the line, they need to. It's Gloria Hines, who shoots 45% from the charity stripe. Now it's a little bit of a chess match on both sides between both coaches who can get the most productivity. So nothing ventured, nothing lost for the Coyotes on the foul on Hines. Horton working the top of the floor. Maya Cobb on her. Chloe Beckman, who's come in, provided a spark. Ortiz. Ortiz with a good look, just a little long. Beckman will let it fly the other way. That bounces in and out. Almost got the Gaucho roll for three.
And Joe, I'm okay with that. We've seen way more points for the Gauchos on the drive. If they're going to take long bomb threes, that's okay. I'd rather see that.
Horsley works it to Horton. Horton, mad scramble. Possession for Chandler-Gilbert. So this is a game where Glendale is trapping and pressing so hard that right now it's for Chandler-Gilbert. A lot of turnovers and a lot of inconsistency down low as Horton loses the handle. Cervantes works the other way. Now Smout and Cervantes and Horton get tangled up.
And what we're really seeing tonight too, Joe, is just two very strong defensive teams going head to head. It's a pretty low scoring game, only at 30 points almost to the end of the third. I mean, these teams are just really defensively match to match.
And Ernie Shan will take a timeout. So he is regrouping his team on the left side. And for Matthew Strickland, his team on a nice run, called it a 9-0 run right now to tie this one up.
Yeah, now it's really about taking that momentum they felt from that three-point shot. Hopefully Melanie Ortiz continues to hit those, maybe a few other players as well. But I like that they've kind of taken back control of their offensive rhythm. You see them making the pass, driving in, kicking out. Making the pass, driving, kicking out. Run that a few times. Hopefully swap up the defense and get an open look. So it's been working well when they've done it. Keep doing it.
On the floor, Ortiz, Smout, Horton, Williams, and Horsley. On the floor, Beckman, Hines, Maya Cobb, Stasia Duque. As well as Delia Madden. So right now the scorers table and the referees are having a conversation, trying to straighten out the logistics of the game. 11.8 seconds left. Glendale playing for the final shot here in the third. Worked outside. Maya Cobb. Cobb driving. Blocked by Williams. And Horton will end it well with the good defensive pressure by the Coyotes. So here we are. We go to the third, and this one is knotted at 3. And that time it was Glendale winning the battle, outscoring the Coyotes 11-9 in the third. But the Coyotes ended strong. They've got a chance going to the fourth.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Joe, that last play right there at the buzzer, I love what the Coyotes did defensively. They brought it back down behind the three-point line, locked down the paint, and really, you saw there, Maya Cobb could have taken the long three. She waited, she wanted to drive, got stuck in traffic, and Coyotes took care of business. So I don't know if that was on accident because they just were doing an inbound play down near this end of the court, or if it was on purpose. I hope it's on purpose. I think that works great in their favor.
Stasia Duque with 9 points in this one. She's been a force. Kayla Cervantes with 6 on the other side. Chloe Olberg with 6 points. She's got 2 fouls. Daniel's got 3 fouls. Vanna Martin with 4 points. And Melanie Ortiz hits that big 3 to draw the Coyotes closer. And here we are. As we go to the fourth, this is what started as a high-octane finesse. Great execution on offense start for the Coyotes has turned into a chuck and grind, a blue-collar affair. Who can be cleaner? Who can not turn the ball over as much, and who can hit some shots down the stretch? Melanie Ortiz. Coyotes will start an offense. Final 10 minutes in the fourth. 29-29. Hannah Williams down in the post, and Hannah misses on point blank. Maya Cobb. Cobb almost lost the handle. Could have got called for the carry. They let that one fly. Madden gets the high screen. They work it to Steffi Cervantes, cutting and slicing. And that was a great play by Steffi Cervantes. They work it over to Horton. And Horton steps out of bounds as Daniel checks in. And right now it's all about the Coyotes. We talked about this, trying to dribble up on the sidelines, getting trapped and pressured, and again, another turnover. Daniel back in the post. She's playing with 3 fouls. Steffi Cervantes works it over to Hines. Hines almost has her pocket picked, and Ortiz and Hines getting tied up. Possession in favor of the Gauchos. 8:56 left. 31-29 Glendale.
There's a jump ball. It's their ball. We had it a pass.
So the referee is talking this one over to make sure who has possession right now. Your refereeing crew: London Gailey, Tina Reed, and Chance Turner. And London Gailey coming over to having some explanations for Coach Strickland and the scores table to find out exactly whose possession it should be right now. And we are straightened out. Steffi Cervantes. Ortiz on her. They double her down in the box. Worked over. Shot is up, won't go. Horsley almost fouled from behind by Madden. Smout. Top of the key, works it to Horsley. Gets doubled, great defense. And right now, and a good timeout called by Matthew Strickland. So it's almost at this point, Matt, that the Coyotes, whoever's handling the basketball, they got to realize if they slow down, they're going to face a double immediately. Yeah. So they've got to be decisive, get the ball out of their hands quickly. And if someone's going to dribble off the pass, it's got to be quick. Mm-hmm. No hesitation, one dribble, penetrate, and try to kick out.
No, you're spot on. And look, that doesn't just take the person with the ball being decisive. It requires the other players on the team to be reactive. You've got to have your 2 wings come out from the corner and say, hey, I'm here to help get the pass, and make it quick, because that double team's coming and there's wide open spots.
And too many times we've seen the Coyotes, their ball handler, left on an island to be trapped and no one's coming out to make the simple pass, that little 5-footer, that little touch pass. So they've got 10 on the shot clock. Smout works it to Horsley. Horsley's got the opportunity, and Horsley too strong. Williams is there. Williams going in. And Hannah goes back up. Strong move by Hannah Williams underneath. And the foul is on Steffi Cervantes. That's her 3rd. Williams will shoot a pair. She's 1 of 2 from the line tonight. And free throws, as we talked about, looming large earlier. Now they are paramount in a big way. And Williams, nice and smooth. Starts the scoring for the Coyotes here in the 4th. Opportunity to tie it. That one's off the mark. Tracked down by Duque. Smout off the steal. Elbow jumper. Doesn't get the roll. Daniel try to outwork Kayla Cervantes, who comes up with it. Swings it over to her sister, Steffi Cervantes. Swings in the corner. Good ball movement, and the 3 is up and off the mark. Tracked down by Madden. And it's Maya Cobb resetting the offense. 13 on the shot clock as Williams comes out. Steffi Cervantes, quick first step, gets past Ortiz, fires it, and Cervantes will shoot a pair as they call the foul on Melanie Ortiz, her 3rd. West, Horton, Olberg going in, Smout, and Williams checking out. Right now, Coach Matthew Strickland looking for whatever combination can pull this one out. Olberg back in, 6 first half points. Cervantes misses on the first. 31-30 as Coach Matthew Strickland calling for the block out. And it's Cervantes coming up with it. And Matthew Strickland grabbing the back of his head and pacing on that sidelines. And Duque could have been called for a travel right there. One extra step. Kicked out. Kaylor Cervantes. Good defense by Daniel. 3 on the shot clock. And Kaylor Cervantes gets it up, and as the shot clock expires, knocks it down. A big basket by Cervantes. 33-30. And Horsley just got to get the ball up the floor as the Coyotes as the Gauchos are bringing the pressure. Daniel, middle of the floor. Daniel going strong. Daniel floats it. Too strong, too deep under the backboard. And now it's Glendale taking its time in the half court. Great possession by Glendale last time, utilizing every second of the shot clock, and Kayla Cervantes with 1 second fires the elbow to get it to drop. 33-30. And they're going to call the offensive foul on Steffi Cervantes. And West. And they get the ball to West in the middle of the floor. West driving. And West drops it in. Elena West, she can heat up instantly. 33-32.
And what a great decisive pass from Celia Daniels. She was right in the middle court, pass it right back into Elena West, and Elena took the drive. That's the quick passes you and I were talking about that the Coyotes desperately need right now.
Up top, driving, Steffi Cervantes.
Wow.
With a nice touch. Cervantes starting to really fill up the box score. Bad pass by the Coyotes. And right now, Coach Strickland pleading to his players to go near the ball, right? And we've seen that too many times, like the inbounds, as Coach Strickland's calling a timeout, he's frustrated, right? Because how many times has he seen off the inbounds, there's not a player close to the inbounds pass. They're like 15, 20 feet away. It's like 3, 5 feet, make it crisp, get it in, cut, and then work the ball decisively up the court.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. And Coach Strickland deserves to be frustrated. Right now, the biggest issue he's having is just his girls out on the court not really hustling, not putting forth the effort coming to the ball. And that's not just on the inbound. We see that even down on the offense, letting the girls, one of their players get trapped and waiting for something to happen. You just got to move fast. And to the credit of the Gauchos, they've played fast, they've played aggressive, and they've really not given up on that press since the second quarter when they came in strong with it. So it's worked in their favor. It's really worn down on the Coyotes. They're going to have to really push hard. It's not a game over yet. They're really in reach of taking a win if they can put that effort forward.
And the big thing is, we kind of talked about, you got to find the will.
Yeah.
You got to not want to lose. You got to fight harder. Steffi Cervantes thought about it. Maya Cobb in that corner. They work it back to Cervantes. Working deep into their shot clock. And they're okay with that, up 3. Work to the outside. Madden. Shot is up, and Horton. And they call the foul against Duque. And that's, you got to tell you, Matt, we've talked about a lot of phantom fouls tonight, and that's like another one. Duquesne just on the baseline, and the contact was minimal compared to some other things we've seen. 35-32, Glendale. Figueroa about to check back in. West swings it over Daniel down the blocks. Daniel gets called for the travel. And Duque will take a breather. 5:30 left. Of course, Coyotes back in action on Saturday. Shot is up from the outside. West, middle of the floor. West gets her pocket picked. They work it to Cervantes, and just a great feed by Maya Cobb.
And I'll tell you, that is something the Coyotes don't need right now. They cannot be laying those little picks right at the half-court line for the fast break back for Gotchas put points on the board. They need to be stretching it out and making it down court.
Olberg, good look underneath, just could not connect. And the touch we had the other night against Park University Gilbert missing here this evening. Coyotes with a lot of opportunities underneath. And that one's in and out by Figueroa. She smiles as she comes up the court. West being tracked by Steffi Cervantes. Gets the high screen from Olberg. The kick out in the corner. Horton picked up immediately by Maya Cobb. Shot is up off the back of the iron. Olberg. Olberg the good read. They work it to Daniel. Horton. Floater. Won't go. Too strong. Here comes Maya Cobb, and right now Glendale just taking his time. Up 5, the shots are not falling for the Coyotes, and Glendale comfortable with utilizing every second. Figueroa down low, and they're going to call a travel against Glendale. Figueroa down in the blocks. Sarah Smount checking back in. 37-35. Smount that right side. Horsley working the middle floor. Great defense once again by the Gauchos. Horsley puts it on the floor. Horsley puts it up. Too strong. Battle. Daniel outworks Horton from the outside. Savannah too strong. Daniel underneath. Savannah. And Celaya, combination. Good dish. Olberg will shoot a pair. And the foul will go against Maya Cobb. And it's Cobb's third. Olberg coming in. 66% free throw shooter, and these are big. Coyotes need every one and then some. Shots aren't dropping, and they got to maximize every opportunity to score in this one. Olberg now with 7 points. Scoring has been tough in this one tonight. And Olberg gets the roll, coming up big at the line. And maybe that'll spark the Coyotes. Only down 3, an eternity. 3 and change, and now the Coyotes, and they call the backcourt violation.
And look, Joe, I like that. I like that little trap, coming up aggressive. That's exactly the spark they need right here, right now. Throw the Glendale Gauchos off their rhythm, get the ball back quickly, and start putting points on the board. You got 3 minutes to go. Give it everything you got.
Got to figure, man, who's going to handle the press more? Who can be more poised and then make the shots when they're there? That's who's going to win this ball game right now. Both teams have got their share of opportunities. Horsley, great defense by Steffi Cervantes. Horsley gives it to Olberg. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 15. Horton with Maya Cobb on her. Horton swings it over to Sarah Smount. Madden, now 7 on the shot clock. Celaya Daniel, they work it to Horton. Horton in the lane. The floater won't go. And the Coyotes out hustle and out muscle Glendale in that possession. They get a fresh 20. Smount off the inbounds. Now, will it be a struggle? And Coyotes throw it away. Duque, transition. And Duque up and in. And that was a killer for the Coyotes.
Yeah, huge fumble. You just can't, in these critical moments with 2 minutes, close game, can't be missing those type of inbound passes.
5-point game, 39-34. Daniel lets it go. And Cervantes and Smount battle possession for Chandler-Gilbert. And if there's a turning point in this one, a decisive moment where the comeback was made, there it was as Sarah Smout forced her way into a possession battle with Steffi Cervantes.
Absolutely.
Now off the inbounds where this has been so problematic for the Coyotes. Olberg underneath. And Olberg will shoot a pair as they call the foul on Kayla Cervantes. And that should be the third for Cervantes as Olberg will shoot a pair.
And Joe, look, use that all day long. Get the clock stopped, go up strong, and take your shots at the free throw line. It only helps your case if you're the Coyotes.
Olberg, 2 of 4 from the line tonight. Coyotes trailing by 5. 2:08 left. An eternity. And Olberg, clutch, connects on the first. Now a 4-point game. Ernie Shan right to our left. On his feet, as well as Matthew Strickland. And Olberg can't say enough about her clutch play at the line. She's got 10 points to lead the team. Horton with the near steal. And Glendale will utilize the game clock. Under 2 minutes left. The swing over. In the lane, Duquesne, pull up. Off the iron, Horton grabs it. Matthew Strickland pleading with his team to keep it up tempo. Work to Horsley. Horsley puts it on the floor. Floater's too strong. And they'll call the offensive foul off the loose ball on Chloe Olberg. And you got to respect Chloe hustling. And right now, she's got a foul to give, so it's non-shooting. Coyotes not in the bonus, or Glendale, that is, I should say, and with 1 to give. Hannah Williams checks in. Defense, a stop paramount for the Coyotes. $1:39 left. Work to the middle floor, Maya Cobb, and Cobb over to Madden. Back to Cobb. Horsley comes out on Madden. Worked in the middle, Cervantes. Back in the middle floor to Cobb. Cobb, 10 on the shot clock. They work on the left side, Madden in the lane. Madden blocked by Daniel. Elena West, a $1:08 left. West will work it out. Horton for 3. And Horton off the front of the iron. And Glendale. Timeout on the floor. 54.4 seconds left. 39-36, a full timeout on the floor. So right now, Horton with an opportunity, could not connect, and you got to wonder, as Glendale calls a timeout full, so they'll have it at the half-court line, you got to figure it's only 1 possession game, a lot of time. You got to wonder if the Coyotes will bring the double team.
Yeah, this could either work in the favor of the Gauchos or against. Ernest Shand looking at his options, right? It's enough time on the clock for 2 possessions, basically, with 54 seconds or so on the clock. And so it's like, hey, do I put a play together, hopefully score, and put them out of reach of 1 play? Or do I just run the clock down and hope for the best? He took the timeout to see if he could put a play together, but it gives the Coyotes the opportunity to lock down on defense, maybe take it back court, and put a point on the board.
Got to tell you, Matt, Ernie Shan in his second year with the team has done a tremendous job. They only had 6 players last year.
Yeah.
And here they are a year later building the program. Played Cochise, they played Mesa, they played Pima hard. Didn't get the results they wanted, but they battled. And you could tell that the fundamentals and the execution is in place with the way they rotate defensively and they hustle, they play hard. So tremendous job by Coach Shan and his team, regardless of the outcome tonight.
Absolutely.
54.4 seconds left. And the Coyotes, as we
great
talked
steal.
about, they bring the double team.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we talked about. Matthew Strickland dialing up the pressure as Maya Cobb. And that should be her 4th, and that's exactly what it is.
And that really was the 50-50 nature of that timeout. Could have gone either way. Who was going to come out on top? Coyotes with a great steal.
So now Elena West at the line. 80% free throw shooter. can't connect on the first. And this one, huge. Make it a 2-point ball game. And West misses on both. (39-36). Chandler-Gilbert pressuring the basketball, and Glendale does a tremendous job as they work it to Steffi Cervantes. 18 on the shot clock. Call it a 20-second game clock to shot clock differential. 10 on the shot clock. Kayla Cervantes, they come out against Steffi Cervantes. She misses from long range. Williams tracks it down, and Strickland calls a timeout. So Glendale utilizes every second. They get the look they want, and Chandler-Gilbert crashing the glass. They've got a chance to tie this one with 24 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, this is the tricky part of a tight game like this. The Coyotes playing back, letting them run the clock out because they don't want to jump the gun and risk them scoring on the board. They waited their time, got the ball back. Good call on the timeout, but unfortunate that those free throws didn't put them in closer range of a 1-point or 2-point game. Now Coach Strickland's forced to either go for a three or tie it up.
Keep it here afterwards. The boys' game is coming up. Glendale coming in. Gave number 7 Pima all it can handle on its home court. Glendale losing that battle at home 86-80. They're putting up 90 points a game. They can fill it. And Chandler-Gilbert with another injury as Connor Aldridge is out after getting knocked around in the last game with a upper body injury. He's sitting this one out. So already short on bodies. The injuries continue to pile up for Steve Silsby, and Coach has been around this ball game a long time, and got to tell you, this is probably one of the most trying times for him so early in the season to have so many injuries.
Yeah, there's just nothing worse. It's really crippling to your team, and what can you do, right? In practice, you can work on fundamentals, but you can't work on an injury.
So the Coyotes down 3, 24 seconds left. Savannah Horton off the inbounds. Daniel, Williams, West, Horsley on the floor. They work it inside. Williams. And Williams misses the short jumper. And Coach Strickland calls for the foul immediately. And the foul goes against Savannah Horton. And Ernie Shan will call the timeout. So Williams misses the point blank range, and that's been kind of the story tonight too. The Coyotes have had a lot of good looks, and we saw such progress in the win over Park University Gilbert. They look so poised going to the rack, using the glass, and this time it's almost as if the glass was, once again, it was their enemy, too hard, and then sometimes taking shots from the side, overshooting the rim instead of using the glass as its friend.
Yeah, and this is really the challenge of a young team. A lot of freshmen on the Coyote squad is the mindset and the mentality. Great first quarter, but as they started making little mistakes, as they started to wear and tear, you can see they just feel like, man, we don't have this. We're not acing our shots, and you can see it start to progress, and that's where that really rock-solid mentality is so key, and that's something that takes time to grow as you've played and you get more experience.
39-36. Coyotes will have 18 seconds. Let's see if they try to put Glendale at the line immediately, which should be the case. Coyotes not in the bonus yet. And they call the backcourt violation. So here we go. 39-36, 16.9 seconds left. Can the Coyotes tie it with a three? Elena West, a lot of time. Horsley swings it to West. And Coach Strickland will call a timeout. And he'll call a full timeout here. So he saw something from his offense that didn't resonate well. Glendale, they got their starting five back in, and that consists of Kayla Cervantes, Steffi Cervantes, Delia Madden, Stasia Duque, and Maya Cobb. So time winding down, you got to wonder if now for Coach Strickland, what kind of personnel does he put on the floor? Down by 3.
Yeah, that's really the question. You know what? He could be going anywhere. Michaela Horsley, we know she can shoot. We haven't seen a lot of her shots hitting tonight. Sly Daniels, she's got a good shot. Melanie Ortiz, or even Juliet Botiller, we've seen her be able to pull up. Botiller's been seeing for a while. She might be a little cold. So it's a whole combination figuring out what exactly is going to be the makeup of these last 17 seconds or so. And it'll be interesting to see what Coach Strickland puts together.
So once again, just like we saw against Scottsdale, a chuck and grind affair. Coyotes jumped out to an 8-0 lead and looked so smooth early, and they've been laboring ever since.
Yeah.
And by no means has Glendale been a smooth Tesla on the offensive end. They've had their share of ups and downs as well. 9 seconds left. Off the inbounds. Dump to Daniel. Horsley for 3. Horsley off the front of the iron. And that won't go. Mad scramble, and that's going to do it. And the Coyotes lose a hard-fought game at the buzzer, 39-36. And Michaela Horsley looked like she had a good look, and now Kayla Cervantes is coming off the court, limping a little bit as these teams shake hands to call it a night. And another tough loss for Chandler-Gilbert as the squad drops to 0-4 in league. And as we kind of reflect, as Chloe Olberg led the team with 10 points, just not enough consistency offensively in this one, Matt.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Great in the first quarter, but